So for this video, we're going to talk about multiples and factors. Multiples and factors are similar, but they are a little bit different. Multiples are basically when you take some number, and I'm going to call that n for the video, and multiply it by any and actually every number, uh, or every value, I should say. These will give you your multiples of n. So the first one, you're going to do 1 times n, then the second one 2 times n, 3 times n, and so forth. So 1 times n, comma 2 times n, and you just keep going. So what does this look like with some actual numbers? So if we did the multiples of 2, for example, the multiples of 2 are 1 times 2. Well, that's going to be 2. 2 times 2, that's going to be 4. 2 times 3, that's going to be 6. 2 times 4, that's going to be 8. 2 times 5, that's going to be 10. 2 times 6, that will be 12. 2 times 7, that will be 14. And you just keep on going. And you can go until the end of all numbers, which numbers don't end, so you keep on going forever. Again, let's use another number. So we'll just use the number 3. So 3 times 1 is going to be 3. 3 times 2 is going to be 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 6 is 18. And again, just keep going on forever. So that is the multiples of 2 and 3. Factors are similar, but they're a little bit different. The factors of a number are the numbers that are that make up that number. So when you have a value times a value, that's going to give us the number that we're looking for. So again, so the factors of n are any two numbers that multiply together to give us this number n. So what's that look like in practice? So let's use, for example, the number 24. Because 24 is a good number. It has lots of factors. Actually, I'm going to leave it as that. So 24. So the factors of 24. Well, with any number that's out there, you will always have two factors every single time. That's going to be the number 1. So if you times 1 by a number, you're going to get the number that we're looking for. So in this case, 1 times 24 is going to give us 24. So 24 is a factor of 24, and 1 is a factor of 24. Now, there are a lot of other numbers that can be used. 2 is also a factor of 24, because if you times 2 times 12, that will give you 24. So 2 and 12 are factors of 24. 3 times 8 is going to give you 24. So 3 and 8 are factors of 24. Um, keep going. So 4 times 6, 4 and 6 are also factors of 24. Now you can keep on going. So next, look at the next number, 5. Well, there's nothing, no whole numbers that 5 can be multiplied to give us 24. So that's not a factor. 6 we've already included. 7, again, there's no number that can be multiplied by 7 to give us 24. So 7's not a factor. 8 we've already included. 9, there's no number that 9 can be multiplied by to give us 24, so 9 is not a factor. 10, again, no numbers that it can be multiplied by. 11, again, no numbers that it can be multiplied by. 12, we've already got included here. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23 are all not factors of 24. So you can do the math, but you'll find out that none of those are factors of 24. So for 24, we have all of our factors listed right here. Let's choose a smaller number and see what factors we might have. So let's check out the factors of 16. So again, you can always start off with 1 and the number that you're looking for. So in this case, 1 and 16. What other numbers do we have? So after 1, let's go to 2. So can 2 be multiplied by something to give you 16? So 2 times 8 would give you 16. So 2 and 8 are factors of 16. 3. There's nothing that 3 can be multiplied by to give you, or no whole numbers to give you 16. So 3 is not a factor. 4 times 4 will give you 16. So in this case, we only need to write a single 4 down because there's no need to write it twice. But 4 times 4 is going to give you 16. You can go through the rest of the numbers. 5 cannot multiply by anything to give you 16. 6 cannot multiply by anything to get you 16. 7 cannot multiply by anything to give you 16. And we already have 8. And you can continue on with 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And you'll find that none of those are numbers that can be multiplied by anything or any whole numbers to give you 16. So these are the list of factors that we have of 16, and these are the list of factors that we have of 24. Now, one way we use this is to find what are called the common multiples. So, common multiples are when you have two numbers, like we have 2 and 3 here, and both those numbers have the same multiple. So, for 2, as you go up the list here, 2 and 3 I should say, as you go up the list, you'll notice that some numbers are the same. So, for example, 6. 6 is in both of our lists. So, 6 is considered a common multiple of 2 and 3. So if we have common multiples of 2 and 3, then we're going to include 6. As we go up, we'll also notice that there's 12. So 12 is also a common multiple of 2 and 3. If we continue to go up, you would find that 18 would be a multiple of 2, and 18's here, so you could also include that. And they keep going. So we've got these common multiples of 2 and 16. Another thing that you'll sometimes be asked for is what's called the lowest common multiple. So in this case, or least common multiple, they just call it LCM, least common multiple. So you look at all the multiples that you have of 2 and 3, you have 6, 12, and 18. All least common multiples asking is what's the lowest number that is a common multiple of 2 and 3 in this case. So we know that that is going to be the number 6 because number 6 is smaller than 12 and the number 6 is smaller than 18 and all these other numbers that are going to keep going. So number 6 is the least common multiple of those. Now, what about common factors? Well, common factors are, again, the same numbers between these the two factors that we're looking at. So if we had common factors between 16 and 24, then we'll go through. 1 is always going to be a common factor. You can go through and find on our list we do have 2 is on both of our lists. So 2 is a common factor of both 16 and 24. If we continue on, we notice that 8 is in both of our sets of numbers. So 8 is a common factor. 4 is also in both of our lists of numbers. So 4 is a common factor. And as we look through, we find that we don't have any other numbers that are in both lists. So that's all of our common factors. Now, again, similar to there being a least common multiple, sometimes you'll be asked for what's called the greatest common factor. And so the greatest common factor is basically the biggest number that can go into both 16 and 24 in this case. So if we look at our numbers here, and we see we have 1, 2, 4, and 8. So 8 is the largest number that we have, and so 8 is considered our greatest common factor. Hopefully this helps you understand what multiples, factors, common multiples, and common factors are, as well as the least common multiple and the greatest common factor.